I've just thought of something else. I'm going to post this video tomorrow because we're going to somewhere. Oh, no, we're not. We're doing double set.
Where are we going?
We're not. I've got my days mixed up. Here's the thing, and I really meant to say this in the video, but it's kind of, it's good that this is the thing I've forgotten.
Addendum.
Yeah, it is an addendum. So recently I saw a little quote from the editor of Doctor Who magazine, and it's part of this conversation that's going on about the ratings for Ncuti's first season and the potential pulling out of Disney after season 2 and all that kind of thing. And he made some reference to it not being an overnight success in 2005. Okay? That's not how I remember 2005. And the conversation about that centres on this story, and I'll tell you for why. Because I remember from the get-go, now obviously in my social circle at the time I was working in a library and workshop, rather magnificent place with some absolutely beautiful people. And people knew I was into Doctor Who, and so obviously conversation would take place around me, but nonetheless, I felt at that time that Doctor Who was a thing. And I mean, straight away. I straight away heard that it was a thing. Now, two elements to this. The major part, which I'll get to, but the first one is, one of the reasons I think it was a thing, and we're going to talk about this when we get to Tennant, is because Ecky's leaving the programme was revealed within like days of the first episode. I can't remember the actual timeline of it. And we immediately started to talk about a new Doctor. I have always been of the belief that was one of the essential things that made Doctor Who a success in that first season. Ironically, losing your main actor because it's Doctor Who made the whole regeneration aspect a thing, and therefore it was a success. So that was happening. People were talking about it. It was the sort of thing that broke through as a news story. The other thing that happened, and although you can't really say it's an overnight success when you're 6 weeks in, but just go with me on this, was The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances. And the reason for that was, for a whole week, and then for a long time beyond, the phrase, "Are you my mummy?" broke through into the mainstream. And you would hear people, random people, just saying it. And I genuinely don't think that Who has had many more of those sorts of breakthrough moments since. Now, the other major one to talk about is obviously the Weeping Angels, which have broken through into popular consciousness in the same way that the Daleks did back in 63. But just 63? 64. No, 63. November. Anyway, sure. My point is this. I think that we have a lot to thank for in relation to this specific episode. Obviously, Moffat, we've got a lot to thank for. But if it wasn't for this, I don't think Doctor Who would have been quite as big as it was. Because you have Daleks, and Daleks are amazing. Yeah, we love the Daleks. You got the clever sci-fi of Father's Day, and all that kind of stuff. But it's those little moments that break through. And Are You My Mummy was massive. A lot of you watching this may not remember 2005. I remember it well.
There might be some people not born then.
There might be some people not born then. Bless you, lucky.
I remember it like that day in
But there was something utterly magical about that for a long-standing Doctor Who fan to suddenly hear Doctor Who conjuring that sort of wider consciousness about itself. So there we go. This is just a very short, 4 minutes. But I just wanted to say that in so much as you don't get moments like that very often, and it still has the magic. And how do I know that? Because my kids tonight were creeping around the house, weren't they, Lib? Yeah. Are you my mummy? Coming around corners, are you my mummy? And Humphrey, for all he says he wasn't, was petrified at points that episode. There were points where he jumped and went, like this. It was absolutely brilliant. And Winnie had to hide her face. But that is proper, brilliant Doctor Who. Doesn't the Doctor dance the Empty Child? Because you have to say it like that, Empty Child Doctor dances. Doesn't it run the gamut? Does it do the whole Doctor Who thing of being really funny and really emotional and genuinely scary, all mashed up into one? Is there any other programme that can do that? No, there's bloody not. So this is why I reiterate what I said in my last video. I'll leash this on the world tomorrow. Genuinely, an absolutely stunning episode, and we have to be thankful for Are You My Mummy? Because in the same way that Exterminate and Don't Blink have provided Doctor Who with that sort of public vim and vigour that it needs, we still need it for Ncuti. We didn't have it in Jodie, probably didn't have it in Capaldi, probably had a bit in Matt Smith, fezzes and all that. Bow ties are cool, but we haven't had one for a while, and we need now as Doctor Who fans. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy, I'm delighted with everything, how everything's going at the moment with Doctor Who. A few more viewing figures would be nice, just to shut everybody up. But we need an Are You My Mummy? Because if we get that again, we're good for another 10, 15 years. Anyway, there we go.